International Criminal Court ICC on 20th May Monday is seeking arrest warrants for both Hamas leader Yahya Sinwar in Gaza and Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu on charges of war crimes and crimes against humanity related to the October 7th attacks on Israel and the subsequent conflict. In Gaza, according to ICC prosecutor Karim Khan in an exclusive interview with CNN's Christian Amanpour, in addition to Netanyahu, the ICC's prosecution team is also seeking warrants for Israel's Defense Minister Yoav Gallant and two other top Hamas leaders, Mohammed Diaf, leader of the Al-Qassam Brigades, and Ismail Haniyeh, Hamas political leader. This marks the first instance of the ICC targeting the top leader of a close ally of the United States, putting Netanyahu alongside other high-profile figures like Russian President Vladimir Putin and the late Libyan leader Muammar Gaddafi, who have also faced ICC arrest warrants. The charges against Sinwar, Haniyeh, and Diaf include extermination, murder, taking of hostages, rape, and sexual assault in detention. The charges against Netanyahu and Gallant include causing extermination, using starvation as a method of war, denying humanitarian relief supplies, and deliberately targeting civilians in conflict. Khan emphasized that denying essential resources to civilians, such as water, is unjustifiable, even if combatants also need those resources.
The outrageous decision by the ICC prosecutor, Karim Khan, to seek arrest warrants against the democratically elected leaders of Israel is a moral outrage of historic proportions. It will cast an everlasting mark of shame on the international court. Israel is waging a just war against Hamas, a genocidal terrorist organization that perpetrated the worst attack on the Jewish people since the Holocaust. The prosecutor's absurd charges against me and Israel's defense minister are merely an attempt to deny Israel the basic right of self-defense. And I assure you of one thing, this attempt will utterly fail. 80 years ago, the Jewish people were totally defenseless against our enemies. Those days are over. Now the Jewish people have a state, and we have an army to defend our state. Notwithstanding the blood libels Mr. Khan has leveled, Israel will continue to wage this war in full compliance with international law. We will continue to take unprecedented measures to get innocent civilians out of harm's way and to ensure that humanitarian assistance reaches those in need in Gaza.
According to the Ministry of Health in Gaza, over 35,500 Palestinians have been killed and more than 79,000 wounded in Gaza since October 7th, although CNN cannot independently verify these figures. Netanyahu condemned the ICC's decision as a political outrage and asserted that Israel would continue its military operations until hostages are released in Hamas and Hamas is dismantled. Other Israeli officials, including Benny Gantz, defended Israel's actions as compliant with international law. Sinwar, Haniyeh, and Diaf are designated as global terrorists by the US, facing travel bans, asset freezes, and sanctions. The ICC's announcement follows a previous investigation launched in March 2021 into possible crimes committed in Palestinian territories since June 2014.